start this thing. It's how I'm feeling this morning.
Hey, my sweet beginnings. Hello, Victoria. Hello, come on in.
Get y'all asses in here.
Nick, I'm about to go down and be great, baby.
All my tacklers, get in here. Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
We got bar, niggas by bar. We got tacklers. What we got? Molly, round we go.
House of Ladon, Gina Simpson.
Well, that's it. Coffee, guys.
Is that the last day?
That's it. Coffee. Juice clean tomorrow.
Hey, Lena. How you doing? Pretty boy.
Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. What up, Starlet? What's going on?
Marcus. How you doing? B-Bird. How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in.
You done?
Hey guys, like the live and wave back. We'll wave back. We'll say hello.
You like how I look? Like.
Oh my goodness. God bless. How you doing, sweetie?
Las Vegas, what is up? I was visiting there.
Oh man, turn up, man. Turn up.
I do remember you, Starlet.
Turn up, dog.
It's YouTube, man.
No, not turn it up. You turn
Oh,
up.
hey, that's all I have.
Oh, Millie. Some Millie thing? Hey. Hey.
What's that?
That was so big. I can't dance.
What's going on? Happy, oh shit. My bad, guys. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. We're gonna finish this one later.
We'll finish later. Hey guys!
What's going on? Oh, somebody's sound is up. Yo. Yep. I turned it down.
There we go. What's up, guys?
What's going on? How's everybody's weekend? Happy Monday. Oh, probably. That one too. Trying to sabotage us, Nikki. How dare you?
Blame
Is your vibration off? Yep, blame it on the women. Yep.
Blame it on
Y'all
the
supposed to
women.
be responsible and keep us in line. Know your job. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking.
He is not joking.
Women do keep us in line though. There's truth to that. So they don't baby us. So what's up?
What's up, dog?
Monday, busy Monday for you. You're out of here.
Busy Monday.
You're out of here tonight.
I leave tonight on the red eye to hot Atlanta. I'm getting ready to go down to start filming.
See, I planted that seed.
Hey, I will be in Atlanta, people. So I'm there. If there's any fun things going on the weekend, because during the week I'm like focused on my work. Mm-hmm. But the weekend, holler at me. I'm there.
So since we're in that region, Atlanta, down south, let's send wishes and to people in South Carolina. It's Hurricane Florence. They're sitting there right now.
I got
I think it's going to skip over Virginia, where I'm from. But anybody has family down in South Carolina, North Carolina, look, we're with you. Survive it. Hopefully, there's no deaths, no anything. It's just let Florence do her thing, which is the name of my grandmother. If it's anything like my grandmother, it's tough.
Grandma out there wild.
Yeah, my grandma out there wild. So
no. Yeah, condolences to all people who have been affected and been hurt by Hurricane Florence. It's it's a natural act. It's one of those things that it happens, but. You guys be safe. I got an aunt that's down there. I had to check up on last night. She's doing well, so everybody stay safe, man. It's not a game, so stay away from it.
Yep. Another thing I want to say to people watching back in Virginia, I had a friend die this past weekend. Heart attack while he was driving. Just saw him in May. Had a drink, saw him out, good energy.
Yeah.
And then I see it on social media, of all things, of course, social media lets you know.
Yeah. And
he passed away driving while he was heart attack. A shock to me, and nobody, to my understanding, nobody was hit.
Yeah.
He didn't cause any. There was no other deaths as a result. But it's put a lot of things in perspective for me. How none of this is guaranteed.
No.
We're not guaranteed to wake up in the morning. We're not guaranteed anything. And it's important to. And it's put a lot of things in perspective for me. Once again, the people who are in my life, my loved ones, my friends, people who I choose to have in my space. at this point because I'm very particular. As you know, you're the same way. I'm very particular about who I have in my space now.
Right.
If you're not building me up or adding to what I got to do, you're taking away from it. So I'm really, really particular about that, and just making sure that we show up for those, you know, who we say we care about,
Right.
and just check in. Hey, make sure. Hey, man, I'm proud of you. Hey, how are you doing? Because we never know what people are going through. It just made me look at everything from my family to people who are in my space. Just be more appreciative and more present. And when you're around your loved ones, put your phone down.
Yeah.
Like, stay off of social media. If it's really valuable to, and if it's really a good time, you don't even think about being on your phone. So I want to send my condolences to him, to his family, to all my people back in 757 Hampton. I can't make the funeral. I don't know when it is, but I'm there in spirit, and it was a tough one, man. It got to me a little bit.
So yeah, condolences to you and your family and your friends. And yeah, I mean, I think with any of these situations when death hits close to home, it's tough because we think that we have time. We think we're going to see these people again, and sometimes we don't show the people that we love and the people that we need to show love to. We don't show them enough. So pretty much what you said, man. You gotta if you're feeling a certain way about somebody or a person, a friend, a loved one, or anybody, somebody on the street, tell them. I mean, you're not promised to get that again. So when you get that opportunity and that opportunity arises,
don't wait till something tragic happens.
Do it, man. Yeah.
I love you guys.
Yeah. We love you too. We love you too, Nick.
Thank
we love you too. No, seriously, yeah. Guys, tell people you love them. Enjoy people. Be present. Be present. So it's real.
Yeah, so let's get into this. We have a few things we want to talk about today. We did no guarantee. Stay safe as always. Y'all stay safe as well. We love y'all too.
We love you guys for sure. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me your time once again. We don't say that. We want to say it again. Hopefully you don't get tired of us saying it. We really appreciate y'all taking y'all time and giving your time, because once again, this is the hour of their day that they're giving us. So we want to make it as informative and do them a service while we're here. So let's touch on the NFL a little bit.
The NFL.
Yeah. Interesting. Seattle Seahawks signed Kendricks, the guy who's the Eagles, got caught insider trading.
That boy was doing, he was.
Got caught insider trading. I know that, but got caught insider trading.
Yeah.
And which is cool. He said a friend took advantage of his kindness and the friendship, and he took responsibility, which I commend him for, regardless of whether you knew or not. He took responsibility. He was cut. Seattle Seahawks signed him, and the thing that stuck out to me is I'm all about people getting second chances. He's a I guess middle of the road guy. He's decent. He's decent.
Decent guy.
He should be on. He'll make somebody's 53 man roster. They said they did their research, and I was like, what research? Like of course we're always, whenever we talk about the NFL, we're gonna anybody doing anything outside of the contract or detrimental to their career, we're gonna compare it to Colin Kaepernick. And when you say you did your research, what research did y'all do for Colin Kaepernick? So, Colin Kaepernick is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
He Super Bowl like this. He's proven guy in the NFL, right? This guy he's a decent guy, but we're talking about a guy who's starting quarterback.
He's on the cusp starter.
Right. So I'm assuming when they say research, they looked at the quality of player that he is, right? Look at the quality player, Colin Kaepernick. Past, history, behavior, crimes, none of that, right? Because I've never heard anything about Kendricks either. The same thing for Colin Kaepernick. Nothing. So when we look at the research from two players who, one is a starter in the NFL, one who's a decent player here and make a roster, what research do you think they really did?
Well, I told you this, and we talked about this before. When it's an individual incident of somebody getting in trouble off the field, and it's something to do with them, the NFL doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It's been proven. You can have domestic abuse people. You can have dog people. You can have dog fighting people with Michael Vick. You can have this insider trader thing with something that doesn't really affect the NFL as a brand, as the shield, as the shield. It doesn't matter. Colin Kaepernick stands against, police brutality and killing of innocent black people. That and taking a blatant knee to what the NFL suspected at the time was taking a stance against the NFL and what it stands for and the flag and what the country stands for. That's an issue because that affects their bottom line. this guy doing something outside of that shield and outside of the brand doesn't really affect the bottom line. So hey, it's okay. He can come back and play for us as long as he's not doing this here, doing this again.
Because they're inside a trader. Yeah. He's with us.
He's with us.
He's
thinking.
Yeah.
So,
but even Colin Kaepernick's thing wasn't really against the brand. It was his own personal thing. So I'm just looking at, when you look at the comparison of players, I'm like, what research? It just makes it further vilifies or makes Colin Kaepernick's case that much stronger. Right? It's like, it's more than just, oh, he wasn't good. No, you are implicitly not allowing him to play because he took a knee. Because if that was the case, a lot of these guys wouldn't. If you do the research on a lot of these guys wouldn't be playing.
But do you think he's a starter? You think he's a starter right now? Who? Colin Kaepernick. Right now. You think he can go to a team and start right now? Because I don't.
No, but I'm looking at when it happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was coming off an injury. Give him that, because as you know, like we're gonna hold him to where he was last until he steps on the field again. There's always gonna be a transition when a guy gets back onto the field. It's easy to say, oh, he wasn't ready. Okay, cool. A lot of guys, as you know, they come off injury. They're not gonna play until they're 100%.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a contract year. You know what? Y'all gonna pay me based on what I used to do, because the second I get on that field and don't perform, you're gonna hold me to that.
Sure.
Everything I did for the past 8 years, it's moot. It's nothing. Right? So when we know what he's capable of because we've seen it. I'm looking at that, his body of work and what he's done since he came into the league to that point. After that, I don't really know. The Kendrick's guy, he's not making waves. That's not to knock him. He make a 53-man roster. That's tough. Yeah. But when we look at the quality of player, he should be on a roster somewhere. Hands down. You're doing your research should tell you to sign Colin Kaepernick. So
you got a question there?
What about Devontae Davis returning at halftime?
So I'll be honest,
No, time about. I got when he told me first. So the question was the question was about the guy that retired at halftime for the Dolphins. His name for the Buffalo Bills.
For the Bills.
His name is Vontae Davis. He plays corner. And so at halftime, right before halftime, he took himself out the game. Went in at halftime and said, he retired at halftime. He said, I'm not going back out there to that manslaughter. I'm not going back out there to get killed. And so he retired at halftime.
Which is disrespectful.
It's crazy.
It's disrespectful to the people.
It is disrespectful to the people out there.
But I had this picture in my head when I read it of him walking in like, fuck this, I'm out of here and just retire. That's hilarious to me. But at the same time, it's not, from a football standpoint, it's disrespectful to the people who you bled, sweat during the offseason. I think it just finish the game at least. But my whole thing is, what's really going on to where he retired? I don't think the majority of guys they'll finish the game. He must have had to be, what's going on in the Bills organization? It's easy to put it on him. I think he should have finished. Finish what you started, right? But what's going on in the Bills organization? Because it's easy to put it on the player. Because there's a lot of talent in the NFL, or they wouldn't be there. Right. What ruins NFL teams? Management. But they're not given the resources to be successful, and what we know, what the Bills have done, they gutted a playoff team.
I was about to say, Buffalo Bills seem like they sabotaging shit anyway.
Right.
Like you get rid of a quarterback that made a Pro Bowl for you and was a secure starter in Tyrod Taylor, and get rid of him for one, and you go to a guy, you draft a quarterback that could be good, we never know, Josh Allen, but then you have a guy on the roster in Nathan Peterman who's trash. Every game he played last year, he threw 20 picks or whatever. It didn't make any sense. And then come here, game one, he throws 4 picks again, and you got to go to the rookie to start. Like, you're self-sabotaging. You get rid of all your good players.
Y'all deserve it. It's not for the players, but management. Like, come on, really? You had a playoff team.
Yeah.
Put pieces in place, so you sabotage it. For what?
Yeah. And I agree. But then, even on the personal level with him and Vontae, you got to think something is going wrong, or something underlying problem is happening with him personally. Because I actually applaud him in a sense. Yes, you don't leave the guys out to dry, but take a step out of the game and just stay there and sit on the sideline. Then don't retire and leave. But if you want to retire and get to step away from the game, a game that you think you can't personally perform at that level anymore, or you're doing a disservice to your other teammates by being out there, or Like you just don't want to do it. You step away from it because if you don't, you're gonna hurt yourself or you're gonna hurt somebody else as well. Because this game is physical, it's crazy.
Yeah,
so
your mind
step
ain't
away.
there. Get away from it.
You got to get away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there's something going on, man.
Yeah, it's because you don't really hear about players doing that at halftime. There has to have been something. So I want to hear his side as to at some point before we pass judgment. I will pass a little judgment like, man, finish the game. As a competitor, as an athlete, out of respect to your quote unquote brothers, finish that game. But I want to touch on something else that we didn't touch upon. Le'Veon Bell. I don't know. We didn't touch on it last week, and his holdout. But his teammates coming out against him. Since we're talking about brotherhood and being together, his teammates coming out against him saying, "Oh, you make $7 million more than me." And look, man, it's like this unwritten rule. Like, if this is a brotherhood, because on one end we're a brotherhood and we're together in this fight, but now you're arguing for the owners. Hey, man, get here. And we all know he's a running back. He's trying to get paid market value, and he should get paid. Running back / receiver. My whole thing is don't go out in public and talk about he's doing exactly what he should do, because one injury, $14 million is gone.
You gotta go get it.
He's making $14 million this year, but if he gets injured, that's probably the most he'll ever make again. So how do you feel about the players speaking out against a quote unquote brother, teammate, one of the top players in the NFL, and them speaking out against him trying to get his money?
Yeah, I think it's coming from what you said. I think it's coming from the front office. I mean, obviously, when it comes to the brotherhood, yes, you don't want to talk about any of your guys not getting their money or being able to make their money and provide for their families, right? I think the fact that these guys are talking right now is coming straight from the top. It's coming from the organization. It's coming from the owners, the managers, the head coach, to try to get a player to force a player to force his hand and come back and play and try to support his brothers. So you have like a conversation between me and you. We don't get along. We have a disagreement about something, right? Yeah. If we put it out there and we actually have that conversation and start talking about it to kind of resolve it, you can see where from the top you would want that to happen to try to make that conversation start.
Yeah.
But from the players, and the players actually talking about him being not for the team and being for himself and trying to get money and trying to make more money than anybody, the fact that that's even a conversation, that pissed me off. Like, don't talk about your partner, man.
Yeah, then we can go like, if we talk about being team or being teammates, what you're doing is going against that. Mm-hmm. Right? We know from a business standpoint, you have to take stands to get your money. Players do it all the time. Like, the longevity of football, it used to be a year, 2 years. Now it's probably less than that. And it's not guaranteed contracts.
Right.
And it was probably one of the most cutthroat when it comes to money-wise, as far as like how it is to get your money, get your contracts. I think it goes against the brotherhood and the teammates to go against that and speak out publicly. If I have a personal problem with you, I'm gonna pull it to the side, because now that's another conversation that's out there, and the owners can use that. Even your teammates think you should be here.
Yeah, support. Yeah, so, I think we both agree. I think, hey, Steelers players, shut up and play. You got to win. All right, let your man get back. He's one of the best players on your team. He's gonna earn his money. Let him earn his money. Let's move on to football. Let's go to some other stuff, man. I'm tired of them. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Better get them. Yeah. Anyway.
You want to go to? You can touch on Me Too. Where we want to start?
Because it's all in the same sentence, in the same breath.
The Me Too founder. Asia Argento. Yep. And now she's in the news for some things she's calling other people out about. Yeah. With her being and correct me wrong, you have more information. That's for me. It's for how many? 15 years ago.
So she worked on a movie with a younger actor. She played his mom. The actor was seven at the time. And then 10 years later, come on, people. And wait, it's coming in. Oh, and 10 years later, I guess her and the young kid who was not at the time 17 had a little thing happen at a hotel, right? And where the little kid said, I said little kid, the kid says, that she sexually assaulted him. So the leader of the Me Too, I don't know why I did air quotes, but the leader of the Me Too movement, one of the leaders, Asia Argento, who was so pro, so anti the Weinstein movement and all this stuff happening with the big producers of the time and how they took advantage of a lot of actresses, actually took advantage of a younger actor, and now she's being charged for it. So how, like, that's crazy. Like, when you go into any situation like that where you're in the front of any movement and you know you have these skeletons of your own in the closet, do you go out and do it? Is it the right thing? Is it the right thing to do? Do you step out in front of it? Like, what's your take on
They're
it?
comfortable. The fact that a lot of people think they can't get caught, or they feel like they're immune to consequences. And we're going to touch on that a little bit as far as statute of limitations. On how far is it? Should we go back, or should people be allowed to? I mean, I don't want to touch on that yet, but it's interesting because I really want to know how other people feel when they read these things, because everybody was me too, me too, me too, me too.
Right.
You want to hold guys accountable, which we should. Are we going to hold women just as accountable to when they do things? Right? There are instances where women can come up to you, pat you on the butt, touch you a certain type of way, kiss you where it's inappropriate, and it's just her being a woman. But if a man turns around and do the same thing, oh, it's sexual assault, and this happens.
But it's sexual assault when,
well, not sexual assault, but it's inappropriate. Or
it's inappropriate or sexual assault when they want their time to be right. Even at that time, they might not even think of it that way, or say it at the time, which makes it so hard. Because I mean, when it happens, and sometimes I know as a victim, it's hard to come out and say something happened. But I mean, the better and the quicker that you can get that out, I think for us as a society, I think it'll be more accepting, because, and I think that's where the indecisiveness comes in on both parts, because it's so long. Like, these instances are so aged and outdated that now it almost comes to a point where, are they doing this to get back at them? Are they doing this because they're celebrities now? Like, they're doing it because it's cool now? Like, that causes that discussion to take place.
Everybody's holding everybody's skeletons. Wait till you get big and bring this up.
Right.
I honestly think, and I look at the time of it, this is me thinking, the time that this came out, and I was like, and Dave Chappelle, and I always go back to when Dave Chappelle said it. He was like, at some point, he said, yeah, the movement's working, a lot of guys are getting what they're coming to. He said, but at some point, they're gonna come back and it won't end. I felt like this is strategic on the powers that be, whoever's behind all of this, to put this out there. They're gonna start chipping away at this whole Me Too thing, because right around when that came out, Louis C.K.
Yeah,
he's back. He's back out there doing comedy, and people are booking him and all these things. And people are in support of him, but it's the timing of it. I'm like, oh, this comes out, they're going to start easing people back out there to start performing. I said, because these guys, they're making money.
Right.
Whether you see them in the public or not, these guys are making money, and they're going to make their comeback per se, right? But my whole thing is, like, with the whole Me Too thing, is that we need to hold everybody accountable, women just as much as men. And my whole thing is, like, if we're going to go back 15, 20 years, we've all done shit.
Right.
We all have something in our closet, whether we remember it or not. And during that time, we might not have thought it was bad, and that's not saying that it was right, but 15, 20 years ago, I don't remember. Of course I tweeted this when I was 17, 18. I don't know shit. Right. So everybody's going to have something, especially in the entertainment. Everybody has something.
Yeah.
Right. So when I hear these things, oh, this came out 15 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, I was playing. You know, so it should hold her accountable. Just as much as she was holding Harvey Weinstein accountable, let's hold her accountable too. Both men and women. One is not more accepting than the other. I think the thing with our country as a society, it's like a rite of passage for a young man to be with an older woman. But we don't think in movies we haven't had a lot of movies that really touch on that as in the effects of when it's reversed when a woman on a female. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this on another show where I think the lady up in Seattle, the teacher, and the student, she had a baby, but the kid ended up committing suicide, if I'm correct. Ended up dying. But people don't talk about the mental. These are still kids.
Right.
There's still a lot that they're learning about themselves. So we don't talk about the mental trauma that causes to a kid. In our country, we reward young men being with older women, but if it's flipped, a young older man being with a young woman, whether she's 17, 18, is wrong. It's underage. So that's a culture thing. That's a people thing.
That's
like it's what we accept. So
no, that's true. I mean, even on like I guess the Kourtney Kardashian girl, or she's dating she's seeing like a younger guy, like 20 or something. and you see like people saying, "Oh, she's a cougar. What is she doing messing with that little young guy?" Like it's that whole, like you said, like systematically like breaking down the way we think.
Just a double standard shit.
It's
a double standard as far as what women. It's flipped as well. I wanna here on the show we want to cover both of those things. It's not just we're pro-human, not one side man, one side. Let's be fair on both sides. Like, okay, cool. When a man does this is wrong. When a woman does this, let's hold them just as accountable. It's women. Let's hold them just as accountable. Because I think it has to come from other women and women to hold them accountable.
So what do you think about the in that same breath? I mean, the Brett Kavanaugh thing with CBS. He was.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, sorry about that. It's Les Moonves. Sorry, Les Moonves of CBS, right? He had some stuff that came back from him doing what was it, Nick? Some women
Sexual assault. From
sexual assault from like the 1980s with some women back in the day, and now it came to light now recently, and his wife came out and in support of him, and I think other people came out in support of him, saying that that's not really a true representation of who he is, and actually stood up for him. And actually, his wife, Julie Chen, she does a lot of stuff with The Talk on CBS and other things on Big Brother on CBS. She came out and supported her husband and said she supports him. And so, what do you think about that? With some of that stuff coming to light, the assault, the sexual assault stuff.
30 years later.
30 years later
So,
now.
my question to some of the people here: when is it? How far? Is there a cutoff to when, if something was 40 years ago, do we still hold them accountable? And that's just a question, right? How far can we really go back to hold somebody accountable? Because hey, when you're 20, 22, are we thinking those things at that moment? You know, what was important or what was valued then versus now are totally different. Mm-hmm. Now, like, do we look at the time, the place, and look at that in retrospect to action versus now? Because what was okay back then isn't okay now. And I'm not saying that it's right, but how far do we really go back? 40 years ago, I'm like, shit, they probably don't even remember.
Right.
Now, what I will say is that if these actions have caused years of trauma to somebody, I think we do hold them accountable, right? But how far do we go back? Right? Like, what's the statute of limitations on that? Because anybody watching this show, anybody watching us, I'm like, hey, you got some shit too, for sure. It's not celebrity.
No, so I think when it comes down to that subject, I think we talked about it before. In our culture, just keep it real. In the African American, the black culture, we don't like to see other people be successful. And it comes
the barrel mentality.
And it comes back to a lot, like it's not enough room for enough black people to be successful, and that sucks because. Even to that degree, I'm really tired of talking about them too, in particular.
Yeah, but that's just an example.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But even take it a step further and talk about what Cat Williams just said about Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah,
he said, which he has some truth to what he said, but he said she hasn't really deserved or earned her spot to be like the spokeswoman for the black woman comedian. He was trying to go back and say like Monique's the best and blah blah blah, which it doesn't really matter, and that's kind of what we're saying now is there's enough room for everybody. The truth of what he said, she hasn't done an hour tour yet where people would know her, any joke that she said is absolutely true, absolutely correct. But she's one of the best black women comedian actors out there. So you get her on a movie, can she sell a movie and make money for that movie? Absolutely yes. And so why not just let that be the narrative and say, well, shit, she's doing a thing, so let her do a thing. Instead of it being that, he's trying to compare her to another woman comedian that's supposedly better, and that's the problem. It's our community. We always go against each other.
Yeah,
it's that whole narrative
there. Because when we talk about best, that's subjective, right? Mm-hmm. I think right now she's one of the up and coming, and by all means, I'm like, hey, I like her for what I know. Yeah. I don't know her. Yeah. When I see, I like her. Mm-hmm. It's just some relatability there. But I didn't like how he did that per se, because people are going to take, he's pitting women against you. I think he was speaking more to how I took it, my mind, more the business side behind it. Hey, Tiffany Haddish did this when she sold tickets. That's what determined when she got $2 million, whatever the case may be. Versus I keep saying Nikki Parker, but I know that's not her name.
Man, stop saying her character. Her name is Nikki Parker on the Parkers, but now her name is Monique.
Sorry, I keep calling Nikki Parker. Every time I say Nikki Parker, he's like, "Hey, Nikki Parker, who the hell is that?"
Right.
But yeah, it's really about when we look at what people's worth and how they skip over that part. It's like everybody can acknowledge who Monique is and what she's done, but now times are different. It's just really adapting with the industry. Things are likes. Things about who can bring in people who can bring in money for them. Like that's what it is, whether right, wrong, or different. People are getting roles based on how many followers they have.
Yeah.
And Jerome said y'all were the same ones cheering on Eminem and MJK beef. MGK.
We're talking.
So it's different for women.
No, Jerome. We're talking about the African culture. No. We're talking about the African American culture and Black culture pitting two successful people against each other. That's totally different conversation.
The fact that
totally different conversation.
No, and I don't know what he means with MGK and Eminem, how we were bigging that on
Last week.
No, we said we liked it. We said we liked it. But that's the whole.
I'm looking in the sport of rap.
We said the sport.
I like that aspect of it.
Yes, we did.
But when you look at how rap started, I'm like, these are two white guys battling each other out, and I was like, God, can somebody else respond? Like we have two white. How the culture started, it was New York guys battling, and it was for sport.
Yeah.
Now
this ain't for sport. This is Cat Williams saying she doesn't deserve anything. This is not even the same conversation.
Oh, he compared.
Yeah, he's trying to compare.
Do you think they have funk outside of there then?
Huh?
You think they had a beef outside of there then? And now he's going public?
Well,
Tiffany.
No, Kat and Monique. You think that they're head to head, so he's just talking shit?
I don't. Well, he didn't say anything about Monique.
No, he said that Tiffany.
Well, I don't
He's
know.
comparing Tiffany and Monique together.
I don't know. Well, because I didn't know. I know Cat is super successful when it comes to tours and TV shows. I didn't know when he was listening to Resident. I didn't know he's had the most. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
I think what he did was he hit people with a lot of facts.
It was
from
facts.
the business side of it.
Yeah.
Right? How could he have relayed that better? I don't know, because I think it's really good that people understand. Let's step back from that. When we look at, let's go back to the whole rap thing. And people, Eminem, this, that, and forth. Do people actually listen or know what he's talking about?
You want to go there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, because we're talking truth. The people like to put out things, he said this, she said this. Let's look at actual facts. Like, nobody ever thought that MGK can actually out-rap him. We know that.
Right.
That's not debatable. But when people talk about he did this, I'm like, y'all are not even listening to what he's talking about. Y'all have no idea the truth as to the matter is. So I'm going to go back to Tiffany Haddish. A lot of people don't know how the business works and what it is. And you have somebody who's really good at what he does. He just hit people with truth. I don't like using media to make it seem like, Tiffany Haddish is not deserving, because I don't know. Right. I don't know the industry, but when you ask somebody who does, he hits you with some truth. Hey, guys, this is how, like you said, Netflix ain't calling people. They're not calling you. She got this amount of money based on how many tickets were sold.
Right.
Not Nikki Parker.
Monique
did 315,000.
That's the problem in itself.
Look, man, I loved her as Nikki Parker, okay? She did a great job.
She did.
No, but and she sold this amount of tickets, so therefore they base it on those numbers. If there was a number, I get that.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint, if I'm going to give you $2 million, but yet you only bring it in total $300,
right?
Business-wise, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So, like I said, the game is changing. Now the industry is changing, music is changing, how people are getting paid is changing. It is likes, it is views. Who can bring people to us right now?
Yeah, so, I mean, the business side of it, yes. I mean, obviously, Cat Williams, he's speaking facts, and that's the truth. But I think that's totally separate. That's totally separate of what we're talking about. I think we were kind of talking about, was it wrong of him to pit these two successful black women together and call the scene?
Did he do that? Like, it seemed, but did he pit them, or did he just use two examples? I didn't really take it as pitting.
That's true.
I didn't really take it as him pitting the two again. Right. He just told one story on Monique, and he told something about Tiffany, and he was like, look, she hasn't done a live tour, which people right away, if she's the hot thing right now, they don't look at that side of it. Right, so he's talking from somebody who's done it and been successful. He's like, she hasn't successfully done this, which is truth. Right? I don't think that, and I think he said in the interview he wasn't taking anything away from her. I think he said, I like her.
Yeah.
He said, but let's put the facts on the table. She hasn't done this.
Yeah.
She hasn't done a tour. She hasn't done an hour special. But nature of the business is this, and he justified why she got that amount of money.
Yeah, I agree.
That was it. I don't think it was a pitting, but it's how he did it. And cats are very to the point, in your face, right? So,
How much time?
what's
What time is
Be
it?
over.
It doesn't say. It's not counting down. Yeah, we're good on here.
That's not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because 12:23, we went on like 12:25.
Okay. Yeah. So we got it done. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing for me. Like I don't think he pitted them. It's just how he worded it and his demeanor, how he said it. It could have been taken the wrong way. But I took it as I removed that and I looked at facts and what he was saying. Oh, I get it. You know. So anything going on in the DMs, the messages? What's going on? I see a lot of chatter.
So when it comes to entertainers and black people comparing one to the other, I don't think it's them hating on one's success, because as soon as one of them attacks us, we're the first screaming. They're trying to bring us down. Did you hear that?
Read that one. Let's read that again.
It's kind of tough to see.
When it comes to entertainers and black people comparing one to the other, I don't think it's them hating on the one's success, because as soon as one of them attacks us, we're the first screaming their what?
One of them attacks us.
Yeah.
So
Or the first scream they're trying to bring us down.
But that's true.
Yeah, but
that's what we're saying. That's kind of what we're saying.
Yeah,
Like we shouldn't pit each other against each other, because that's kind of what he's saying a little bit. Yeah.
We decide we stick up. It's like your family member. We can talk about you, but what's the thing?
That's very true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but for some people, I get that, but then it's sometimes I see, I won't use the word selfish. I see people go and I don't chip away at somebody else's success, because it's hard enough for people to come up. It is when you know the business of it.
Yeah.
For somebody to get there, we don't know their plight or their story. So I don't want to go out and if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell the truth, but I don't want to make like coverage or news based on Carlos or Kerry said this about no. I want to tell the truth, but I also want to take away, because people like to take things and twist it and make it seem like we're hating, but because it happens. You have some people who are afraid of other people's success, or they're on the downward spiral, so you attack somebody else to big yourself up. I don't like that aspect of it.
I don't fuck with that anyway. I'm a firm believer in when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
So when that happens,
nothing nobody can do.
Nobody can derail you from that. So when it's your time, it's your time. Be ready when that time comes. So prepare yourself for the journey. Prepare yourself for the actual final test. Because when that time does come, when it's your time, it's going to be there. Take advantage of it.
People are going to say something. It's like time some people, it's their role to attack you to see, and that's the test. Right? People are going to say all types of stuff.
Yeah.
It's why I get why people don't respond. It's like, okay, cool. I know the truth. Why respond to this? It's the media. It's TMZ doing this. It's Shade Room saying this. And some people, when Shade Room and TMZ is your source of information, we got problems.
Right.
You know, or World Star Hip Hop, which I couldn't stand that. I thought it was against our culture, actually. You know, so I don't know, man. It's interesting. The more aware I become, the more I see, the more I kind of step back and be like, I don't really want to be a part of this, right?
I like what Jerome said right here. There's a narrative that hard ways makes you successful. That's furthest from the truth, especially in this industry. It's about work, connections, talent, and etc. Cat tried to discredit her work. I agree a little bit. I don't know if he discredited her work, but everything in there.
Because he can't discredit what she's already doing anyway.
He doesn't have to do
Jerome
it.
also said, comedy is subjective. No one lane is going to be the same. All comedians aren't stand-up comedians. There's no blueprint for a comedian. So even comparing them is.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's changing.
Yeah.
It's not about getting up there and standing up. There's only a few people who can actually get up there and stand on that stage and own it.
For a whole hour.
There's a Dave. You see people trying, but you don't really, like I said, comedy's changing. There's comedy actor. There's
there's Instagram comedians.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all kinds of stuff.
I think it has weight because it comes from somebody of Cat Williams' stature.
And he can. He's
right.
He's one of those few that
he's
can
one
do
of those guys where if we're gonna listen to anybody, listen to him.
Yeah.
We might not like how he might say it, but one thing we know about Cat, he's gonna say what's on his mind. He's gonna say it in a way like, yo, this is how it is. Yeah. I watched the interview. It was hilarious, but I was like, Cats are very direct and to the point. This is what it is. And a lot of times People become uncomfortable when it's the truth.
What they say.
Because that's
most,
the person that they love or that they like.
The most uncomfortable person in the room is the
person who knows the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
And for some people, I don't think he can't discredit what she's done because she's there. It's like Kerry said, when it's your time, it's your time. It's her time. She did something to get to that point. If she did it, she would be there.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So it holds more weight because it's coming from Kat. And sometimes Kobe Bryant caught a lot of heat about the whole Trayvon Martin thing, the whole hoodie thing. And he caught a lot of flack because he said, "Hey, I'm not just going to jump on the bandwagon because there was a white person who done this to a black person."
Man, it ended.
Yeah, I didn't even see the time.
But it didn't count down. It didn't count down. Like it usually counts down. That's why I didn't.
Yeah.
That's why I was
I've never
like,
seen
shit.
that on
No, we'll just sign back on. So
Oh yeah, I never seen that.
yeah, that's why I was like, that's okay.
Make sure you give it time for people to log back on.
Do you want to Baby Nikki? Who the fuck is Baby Nikki?
Me.
Oh shit! I forgot you hooked into it.
And let's close it out with the with you guys saying what show you want to win tonight for the Emmys.
Okay. Guys, come back. Sorry, it cut off.
Give it a sec.
Come on, come back in so we can close it out.
Give it a sec. People are joining.
Come on, come back in.
Sorry. Okay, here we are. They're waiting.
Come on back in, people.
Waiting for Jerome. Where's Jerome?
Jerome and Rome, where you at, baby?
We're gonna close it out. It went up. What's up, Tone? What's up, baby? What's up? It's
Jerome
Katrina.
and Rome.
Closing it out in a minute.
Jerome missed Jerome missed last week's
So-
podcast.
so-
Didn't
so
want to
he-
blame it on us.
So he coming in hot.
Right. You gotta make it for last week, huh, Jerome? You missed it. We put it up. Jerome be keeping it going.
What's up, your boy Screech? What's up, man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Katrina's back. Okay.
We're gonna wrap it up anyways.
Water freak, we back.
You
We
guys
back.
like that?
We back. We're gonna close it out proper.
Proper. Yeah. I forgot honestly. CTE. I forgot what I was talking about.
Alexandra, I see you. And Reggie B, yes, we're in the same place. We're getting both followers in the same spot. That's why it's live together.
Okay,
And we're
back.
filming together.
What's up to say?
I bet you Jerome copy and paste and it was waiting to send it.
Right. That's what took so long to come back in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's close it out, man. Let's close it out. So we were I think we were closing out with the cat stuff.
Yeah,
right?
man. At the end of the day, like the consumers, we have the power because we drive.
Yeah.
There's the reason why the people get because we're the ones supporting these brands. Look, man, let's use our energy to big people up. You know, be positive about it. Let's use more of our energy to in a positive level, a positive light. And we don't have to pay attention to the negative stuff. We can completely ignore whatever we took negative from what Kat said, and just choose the positive of what he said, because there's a lot of truth.
Just echo.
Oh, damn, man, hating on us.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
let's. I think you do yourself a disservice and other people that are around you. Just look, man, we're the shit. Like we control the narrative if we choose to. We give attention to negative stuff. People like negative entertainment. Guess what they're going to give us? They're going to give us that.
Yeah.
And they're going to feed that. They're going to feed that. So
now look, man, believe in you, believe in your grind, man. Believe in the work you do will be seen by somebody and appreciate it. And I think
do it for yourself first.
Right, yeah, it doesn't really matter what the outside noise say. Sometimes some of that stuff gives you fuel. It all depends on how you take it, man. Like stuff like that, all it does for me personally, it fuels me to be better. It fuels me to get to work on my craft more, work on whatever I can to improve myself as not just an entertainer, a comedian, the stuff that I do, but just as a better person anyway.
Yeah.
So when I see stuff like that, for me, like if I was Tiffany and I saw the stuff that Kat said, for me personally, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's how he feels, that's great. I wouldn't even go back at him. That's his opinion. Doesn't really affect what I'm doing. The bottom line is, I'm this person, this is what I'm doing. And her bottom line is, right now, she's the hottest comedic actress out. She's doing a movie with Kevin Hart right now. She just did another movie. She's doing a TV show. She's doing a movie with Melissa McCarthy. So the rest of it doesn't really matter. Like, Embrace who you are.
Right.
If you're not an hour stand-up comedian and you haven't done that yet, you have to
fine.
It's a fact.
Yeah, that's
Be
fine.
in your lane and do what you do, and that's what I would do. So if I was telling anybody, look, be who you are. Work on your craft, work on the stuff that you need to get better at. If you want to, you need to do that. But at the same time, the eggs and the eggs that are in the basket that are driving your success in your life, you focus on that and do that, man. The outside noise really doesn't matter. So that's what I would say to anybody.
Yep.
So
That's a great ending from
I think we got here. Yeah, I think we're gonna get out of here, people.
Next Monday,
Next Monday we gotta figure it out because I'm away in Atlanta.
I might be in here by myself.
He might be by himself, but we can just live while I'm.
Yeah, we just live up. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what time because I work on Mondays too. So
So we gotta figure that. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll let y'all know about next week and the show. Thanks for.
Maybe we'll show up to Atlanta.
Come on to Atlanta. Come on to hot Atlanta.
I am a new
Hot
flag
Atlanta.
football coach
Oh, yeah.
of 7th and
That is
8th
true.
graders.
Congrats.
So,
Congratulations. Congrats.
Be out here.
I'm gonna come out there and heckle when I get back.
Yeah, you'll be back. I need support. Mommy Niggy. You know, so I'm a new coach. I gotta do all this paperwork today. So
Go get it done.
But look, guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We value y'all, and see y'all next Monday. Not sure what time, but we'll let y'all know.
We'll figure it out. Hey guys.
Let's end this joint.
A little music, a little outro music. Waterman, water free. I am not drinking any alcoholic beverages this morning.